Okay, so while you searching for all the good statistics on YouTube and Comcast and so much more, you're looking at subscriptions from programs that give a good instance of these qualities, and being able to suffrage from more than 500 dimes, and being able to give you more of a completed investment of 658 paychecks is pretty much where we want to be able to evaluate you in Eco Leave and in Texas Mutual, and being able to know Texas Mutual statistics and subscriptions is pretty much what we want to be able to describe in these um, pro, platforms. So it's pretty much what we're working on now, and it's pretty much what we're working on a lot of T-Mobile, and that's up to about $520 a month of these types of congressional law orders or bill references, or um, or even invoices at the time. So it's pretty much where that's pretty big at these things, as you get to know T-Mobile from um, as you get to know T-Mobile from T-Mobile from Google Fi. You have a little Google Fi in there, and then you have Comcast in there as well. So it's basically where you're using a bigger investment for transitions from Comcast grid, as you're giving it 721 different districts of composites, and it's pretty much where you start in the Comcast PMC2 squared of ecourb, and that's worth about 97 million 9 times a month in ecourb of ecoleaf and catfish industries, and that's pretty much where you're using a certain product to promote the statistics of that. So basically, at the end of the day, I'm figuring out what the product is, and we're trying to figure out what it does to promote more acknowledgement into the local environment that it's in. Knowing that your Mainer is not Breaker and Breaker is not Rumberg. You breaking it down into another category of regions at the time, and being able to use a program for that terminology of region, instead of using every region in the world 248 times, 348 times. You use it 120 times, and be able to use more of a bank account invested strategy for it. Is pretty much what we're using our own math plan of MoneyGram, and that's pretty much where we're using the extra look of T-Mobile, Google Fi, and Comcast, and that's pretty much people that sponsors it more efficiently than the average norm. So it's pretty much working with $733 every minute. Being able to know more of those types of subscriptions from programs from from objectives at the hour is pretty much where you learning more of that composite as you learn in $38 from $36.92 from 32.62 and 5200s at the time. And the more yellow, red, and green tyrannies you use, the more congressional law orders you have to use and spend on Comcast and Google Fi and T-Mobile and MoneyGram. That's pretty much why they're made to be one of the most prominent companies of the sufficiency at the hour. So it's pretty much working with $520 of primary detail. So that's pretty much where you're using 9732 at, and being able to use 1897 to 1932. Other than it being a Duesenberg, it's an infinity type structure. So it's pretty much another merchant being able to consume 768 years of 200 years, and being able to collect more than 16 years of experience is pretty much where you get into T-Mobile, Google Fi, Comcast, MoneyGram. That's where you get the majority of that type of stuff from. And these are the type of companies that make duplicates within my jurisdiction all the time. So it's pretty much as we use those companies to promote more for promotions at the time, and using the diamond transplant of $921 interest. So basically we getting the money from imperialists, and being able to make a capital retreat is pretty much what we want to be able to do, so we can be able to learn more about the objectives that get us more infatuated with not just eating, but building endurance, so we can live a longer path of trails at the time. So you can be at downtown and you can walk up to 768 times before you go back home, and being able to work out at 6 in the morning to 12 in the evening type deal. And it's pretty much where you're working with transitioning and using your PMC2 squared with ecourb, and that so forth. So that is already its own company, as red, green, and blue companies already made by certain subscriptions, already a planned way of using technology to promote more for the Bowden effect, or more for the standard statistics of the prominent show we wanna keep at the literal hand. And it's pretty much using $78,858 to promote that sale. And it's pretty much we're using more of television to entertain it, and using 728 hours of off periods, 644 times to equivalate with the off time that you may have on your off day. So overall you got like 644 of those periods in your 24-hour off day period. So after you get more loose off into that ecourb production, you pretty much in a loop of knowing more about ecourb, and those positive notifications that it brings. And it's pretty much just looking at more of these statements here, and understanding more of a merit group, from being able to know more about a merit group being a larger component of compounds at the hour. These are groups of people that you're talking about. $620 a unit at the time. So if you're using 991, you're using nine dimes, 9 dimes, and 1 dime. Being able to use that in groups, you're using $520 in interest rates at the time. So that's pretty much where you're working with a group of 566. So that's basically being able to divert Sam's from Sam's from Walmart by adding separation of powers and Bill of Rights to Declaration of Independence and separation of powers. So that's pretty much where you're getting 78,641 on 49, which is the Harambe code. At that, learning 76,469 and 29 units in the ratio of the definition of a Harambe code is pretty much where we're living. Other than it being New Deal area in Oklahoma, Ohio, Missouri, and Idaho, and Massachusetts. You're looking at the average day look of the optical look of today's network, and it's pretty much just working with any type of satellite network or any type of crop investing, which is particularly rice, chicken. It's particularly rice, chicken, and sausage at that time. Rice, chicken, and sausage. So that's just the average $97 meal. So because it's the most prominent, efficient meal that you can get at the time. So it's pretty much where you're looking for your 7:30 a.m. or your 9 o'clock a.m. with $97 investments at the time. So it's pretty much working on T-Mobile, of Google Fi, of MoneyGram.